Once upon a time, in a peaceful kingdom surrounded by green hills and shining rivers, there lived a kind and gentle girl named Cinderella. Soft paws. Her real name was Ella, but because she often sat near the fireplace to keep warm, people began to call her Cinderella. Cinderella lived in a large old house with her stepmother and two stepsisters. The house was tall and beautiful on the outside, but inside, Cinderella's days were often lonely and quiet. Still, Cinderella had something very special. She had a heart full of kindness. Every morning, Cinderella woke up before the sun. She swept the floors, washed the dishes, and carried buckets of water from the well. While her stepsisters slept late, Cinderella worked hard, humming soft songs to herself. The birds loved her songs. They flew in through the windows and perched on the table. "Good morning, Cinderella," they seemed to chirp. Cinderella smiled. "Good morning, my friends," she whispered. Even when her stepmother spoke harshly, Cinderella stayed gentle. She believed that kindness always mattered. Sometimes, when her work was finished, Cinderella looked out the window at the blue sky. She dreamed of happiness. She did not dream of riches. She did not dream of being important. She dreamed of being loved. Deep inside her heart, she believed her dreams could come true. One bright morning, a royal messenger arrived. He wore a red coat and carried a golden scroll. "Hear ye! Hear ye!" he called. "The king and queen invite all young people in the kingdom to a grand royal ball. Prince wishes to meet everyone. The ball will last 3 magical nights." Cinderella's stepsisters clapped their hands. "A ball!" they cried. They began planning dresses, hairstyles, and fancy shoes. Cinderella watched quietly. She hoped just a little. "Oh, Cinderella," her stepmother said, "you may go to the ball if you finish all your chores." Cinderella worked faster than ever. The birds helped. The mice helped. At last, everything was done. "May I go now?" Cinderella asked. But her stepmother laughed. "You have no dress, no shoes, and no place at the ball." Cinderella ran outside, her eyes filled with tears. As Cinderella cried beneath an old tree, a gentle light appeared. Kind woman stood before her. "Why are you crying, my dear?" she asked. "I wish to go to the ball," Cinderella said softly. The woman smiled. "Then you shall," she said. She was Cinderella's fairy godmother. With a wave of her wand, the fairy godmother turned a pumpkin into a shining carriage. Mice became horses. A lizard became a coachman. Cinderella's old clothes transformed into a beautiful blue gown. Glass slippers sparkled on her feet. "But remember," the fairy said, "the magic ends at midnight." Cinderella nodded. Palace glowed with golden light. Music filled the air. When Cinderella entered, everyone stopped and stared. Prince saw her and smiled. He walked toward her and bowed. "May I have this dance?" he asked. Cinderella placed her hand in his. They danced across the shining floor. They laughed and spoke softly together. Cinderella felt happy and free. For the first time in a long while, she felt truly seen. As the clock began to chime, Cinderella gasped, "Midnight!" She ran through the grand hall and down the palace stairs. One glass slipper slipped off on the steps, but Cinderella did not stop. She hurried home just as the final chime rang. The magic faded. Carriage became a pumpkin again. The horses became mice. Her gown returned to simple clothes. The next morning the prince searched the kingdom. "Only the girl whose foot fits the slipper is the one I seek," he said. The stepsisters tried to squeeze their feet into the glass slipper, but it did not fit. Then Cinderella stepped forward. "May I try?" she asked. Her stepmother protested, but the royal guard allowed it. Cinderella sat down and gently placed her foot into the slipper. "Fit perfectly." Prince looked at her and smiled. "You are the one," he said. Cinderella forgave her stepmother and stepsisters. She chose kindness instead of anger. Soon after, Cinderella went to the palace, not as a servant but as herself. In time, she and the prince ruled the kingdom with fairness and compassion. Cinderella never forgot where she came from. She always treated others with warmth and understanding. She believed in hope. She believed in kindness. And she lived happily ever after.